Hi, I'm Angela Ryder. Thank you for joining me. Today I wanted to talk about when I first started exploring divination tools. And as I was doing it, I was feeling energetic changes within me during the process. And it was like I was being tuned to my own intuition, my own answers through actually using these tools. It wasn't what I was expected, but it did make me take notice, and it was an important discovery along the way for me. So when I first started to tune into my intuition, it was because I would get into a mental spin and stuck in my head, and all of that overthinking left me frustrated and even less able to make choices or know what I wanted. And self-doubt would creep in. I would be confused. The harder I tried to discern between that inner critic and the message from my intuition, the more I just wanted to throw up my hands and say, I don't know, maybe I'm just not that intuitive. But along the way, I started using a simple tool that I had never even heard about before, which was called a pendulum. And I didn't realize at the time when I started using it, I thought maybe, oh, my guides are moving it, or my some kind of magical thing is happening here. I don't know what's happening, but it feels kind of magical, and I could actually start to feel energy flow through my hands. And so I was holding onto the pendulum and getting ready to start a question. I could feel an energetic change shift in me and flow through my hand. And that's when I realized, oh, my intuition, the energy of my intuition is moving through me to make like a manifested motion that I could see, that I could visualize, that I could get confirmation or affirmation or some kind of answer to the question I was having. So having that occur, it then made me realize, okay, I was connecting with my intuition just before I asked a question. And then after I asked the question, I would notice, oh, not only did I feel the energy, I would start to determine, oh, I have a strong preference for what I wanted that answer to be. And if I got what I wanted, I was like happy and relieved. And when I got an answer that supported that preference, that made me feel like, okay, I'm on the right track. But then if I got an answer that didn't support what I wanted, I was disappointed. And so then I thought, well, what am I going to do with that information? Do I just follow this blindly, this yes, no, maybe energy? And that would then start the questions of, okay, let me get the tarot cards, let me get an oracle, let me check with somebody else. And so there was all of this self-doubt that also came with using the divination tools and learning how my energy, my inner yes and inner no worked for my intuition. And when I was looking at it, I said, oh, these are actually a great tool for tuning into listening to what our guidance is really telling us. So in the simplest of ways, noticing what my preferred response was and my reaction to the answer informed me what I wanted to know and where to start exploring next. So in some cases, I discovered what I really wanted was an excuse for not doing something. So if my answer was, I was being invited to do something or try something out, and I really wanted the answer to be no, I would sense that I was looking for permission not to do something. And then in the opposite of that is sometimes I wanted permission to do something, and so I was hoping for a yes. So that told me a lot about of that inner knowing, of listening with more refinement and skill at what that feeling of yes is and what that feeling of no is. And adding that with that intuitive knowing and guidance and invitation coming from our higher selves, we can say, okay, I really would like to do something, and I just don't trust that I know my knowing. So I'm looking for permission to tell me that, oh, my guides told me to do this, or my guide said, no, that's not for me. So I use divination tools in that way, which is informing me a lot about how my energy works, how my yes, no works, how I'm looking for something to support what I really want. And then being willing to say, okay, I'm going to use the divination tool and I could follow it, or I could say no. But I do find when I've really honed in and know what the inner truth is, and then I ask the question, it's not just confirmation bias. It feels like there's a coherence, and it's just an emanation of my intuition, my knowing that moves the pendulum, or that presents me with a yes or no, or I don't know yet. So I like that for divination games. So on my website, I have a tab that has divination games. And on it, I have a series of questions to ask yourself before you use the divination game. One is like a coin toss, a yes or no question. And one, you can type in a question that you have. And I have 3 different options that you can use on getting a yes, no, or maybe. I try to make it fun, but I try to make it also supportive. There have been times where I haven't felt really clear, and I've gone to my own website and I've typed in a question, and being willing to take whatever response, because I just couldn't get out of that I don't know. and I had too much mental spin, and dropping into my body seemed like I was getting could be anything. So you can go to my website, angelaryder.com, click on the divinations tab and choose either the coin toss or the divination game of what I call Mystic 9 Ball, and ask a question. And these are the questions that I would have you ask. So, do you have a preferred answer for your question? And do you know why you do or don't have a preferred answer? Do you feel or know what the answer will be? Like, do you already know what the answer is going to be? And why do you think that? Why do you think that alignment is there? And what will you do if you get the answer that you want? Are you going to need more validation? Do you need a different sign? Do you need to logic your way through and justify it? And what will happen if you don't get the answer that you want? Will you just keep checking and trying to find something that will tell you what you want to hear? And this is another one that is kind of, it tells a lot about me that I put this question on that. Are you avoiding making a choice because you have fear or doubt? So sometimes the way I fling myself out of a mental spin is just looking at this like, am I avoiding making a choice because I have fear or doubt about the outcome? And instead of approaching it more with a let's just try, I guess I want to like endorse my choice to a divination game. And are you giving yourself permission to avoid an action or to do something that you wanted to do anyway? And also, especially if you're using the Mystic 9 Ball, what would you do if you didn't get an answer, or the answer was wait, or not now? Are you prepared for just sitting with that and asking your team for more guidance later? So I hope you have fun and go to my website and check out the divination games and really feel into the energetics of what you're asking and what it feels like in your body and what you would like the outcome to be. It will help you fine tune feeling the energetics of at least on a minimum a yes or no. Getting past the conditioning of our self-doubt and our mind spin does take practice, and this is just a fun way to do it. Now, I do want to say that you are on your own reconnaissance to take any of these answers and do what you will with them. This is a game to help you hone your intuition and maybe just start with low stake risk and say, okay, no matter what this is what I'm going to go with. Like, should I have the chocolate donut or should I have the glazed donut? Something very simple to start, just so that you can take practice and not feel like if you got the wrong answer that you are devastated by, what your mind has all prepared you for. And so let me know how this works for you and how you've used pendulum or yes, no, or an 8-ball type of yes, no, maybe. And if it helped you hone your skills and your energy to listen into the energetics of your intuition and what you already know is true. Thanks for being here. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't worry about it. Have fun. And I hope you join me here again.